Hi, welcome to the MaeCast. With us today, we have Brad Deer. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Brad Deer. I'm from Notts, and I've been playing the circuit for a good few years now.
Before we start, I just want to say I love your piercing.
Oh no, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So how did you actually get started in making music? What sort of inspired you?
Well, I was really quite young when I first got into music. My dad took me to my first festival at 6 years old, and one of my favourite bands at the time were a band called the Levellers. They still are. Like
I know them. They are very good.
Oh, wicked! No, they're awesome. And like, obviously, I saw them, and like that was it. I sort of fell in love with like the folk side of music, and for years I acted as well in like sort of stage shows and stuff like that. And then I sort of moved over to secondary school and started to find my own music, if that makes sense. Like I got into a lot of like alternative, like metal and things like that, and then ended up being in a metal band called The Insiders Live, and that's sort of where it all started, really. Which is yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. What did you do in the Insiders Live? What did
I was the front man in the band, and yeah, like I sang and screamed. Really, that was sort of what I did.
Yeah, that does definitely check out.
Yeah. No, that's sort of like where it started, and then like at 16, 17, we sort of parted ways, and I started doing solo music as just Brad, and then I think I was like 20, 21 when we started the like sort of Brad Deer thing, which was yeah.
So obviously, you spoke about the Levellers, and those were a big inspiration on your music. Now,
Yeah.
What else has sort of inspired your genre of music?
I think a lot of the music that I try to look like write about is more sort of on a social aspect of how I look at the world, and how I not just the world, but like our country, like the UK and stuff like that. And sort of I don't like to incorporate politics into music, because it's never nice to like push your views onto somebody, but I try to do it subtly, in the idea of like everybody should be allowed to be who they want to be, as long as you're not like running around killing anybody, or and stuff like that. You should be allowed to express yourself how you see fit, and sort of the music's all about self-expression and finding yourself, really, and sort of in the mad world we live in.
Obviously you released a lot in 2018. What have you sort of been up to?
Been working sort of behind the scenes a lot, just gigging lots, trying to get my name out there even more since we released the album in 2018. And I've sort of, in the last sort of 8-9 months, I've started to write a new album, and got quite a few songs that are really good. And in the future, well, in the next couple of months, we're going to be releasing an EP, which will be really exciting. So like just 5 tracks of, it's just going to be me and my acoustic guitar, just like basically this is what it's going to be. This is what some of the songs are going to be like, but obviously without the full band because of restrictions and things like that, and trying to basically put musicians back together and stuff has been quite difficult, like over the last year or so.
Yeah. So you've just spoken about without not having being able to have a full band. You've done a lot of like Zoom gigs, live gigs.
Yeah.
Where did you get the idea for that? Because it's not something that most people have been doing.
Yeah, what it was is when was it? St. Patrick's Day. Basically, I was booked for a really cool gig on St. Patrick's Day. I can't even remember what it was now. But it was gonna be something really, really fun somewhere, and we couldn't do it. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna live stream. I like set up a little sort of, basically chucked everything straight into my Mac, and it really didn't sound great. So the next live stream, I went to my phone, and we've just been doing it like straight off my phone speaker since then. And just the first one went really well. The audio quality was awful, and it just went so well that it was, for me, like to do it weekly just seemed like a kind of, I don't know, like not a clever thing to do, but sort of it gives something back to the people who have always constantly be given to you, like relentlessly coming to gigs and stuff like that. And it's just a little bit of positivity in all of this madness, I suppose. And it's sort of, we're like nearly like 50, 60 odd streams in now, which has been, it's been good fun.
Yeah.
Like 30, 37 on my page, like that I've done like live in the lockdowns. And then obviously quite a few various other little like festivals. We did a festival and stuff like that. And I've been part of lots of other festivals raising money for charity and things. So it's sort of, it seems sensible to carry it on because it's just a nice thing to do. And it's just literally a little idea of, oh, I'm going to try it, and it sort of worked out quite well, I suppose.
Obviously, that's like a more career side of what you've been doing over lockdown. On a personal level, how would you say this national lockdown has affected you?
Sort of, I'm quite a social person. I mean, when I write music, a lot of the time, I'm quite, I lock myself away. I become quite introvert and sort of like to be able to have my own space to sit down and really think about what I want to write about and stuff like that. There's no set process to how I write songs. I don't write lyrics first or guitar riffs first. It all sort of comes at different stages and things come together as they come together, sort of naturally. And sorry, what was the question again?
How have you personally sort of handled this lockdown outside of just music-y stuff?
Yeah, so basically the music, being able to still do the music has been a huge, like, massive thing for my mental headspace, as I'm saying, like writing the songs and the songs come together at certain parts. But I'm a massive social animal. Like, I love to be out there doing it. Like, I'll finish a gig and the first place I go is go to the dressing room, chuck all my stuff away, and then I'm straight out there watching whether I'm supporting or headlining. Like, I'll be straight out there with everybody else. And you sort of meet friends through the festivals that have like impacted my life hugely. Like, I might not see them all the time, but I really look forward to being like, there's going to be that person there, there's going to be this person there that'll send me a message being like, look, do you need a lift? Like, we're going at this time. And I'm like, no, I'm sorted for that. So that sort of affected me a little bit. But I tell you what, I've always had an Xbox, and because for the start of the lockdown, there wasn't really a lot to do in the evenings except my Monday night streams. So in the evenings, I was still able to like sort of chat to my mates. We've all got a group chat, and we all just like clubbed in evenings and just sort of played Warzone in sort of two separate groups, or we'd play like just a game that we could all play together. And for a few hours each night, it's still like not really socializing, but at least you all get to talk to each other instead of having to ring each other individually. Or like Zoom's been good as well, to be fair, for like catch-ups and things like that. But it's sort of, yeah, it's been all right, to be fair. I haven't struggled as much as what I thought I would. Like, a lot of people have messaged me who have been struggling and things like that, and I think these last few lockdowns have been more sort of mentally draining for people because this has been going on for so long, and unfortunately there's nothing we can do about it except just sort of try and be as positive as possible with all the madness and sort of negativity surrounding us, just, and all of that sort of stuff.
Well, so on that note, what do you sort of think? I don't want to get too political here, but sort of, what do you think of the government's new sort of road map out? Do you think it's a reasonable sort of way?
Kind of. Like, I think for venues to be reopening in June is good, because it's going to give venues time to plan ahead and things like that. And like they've said that Leeds and Reading's going ahead now. You've got to have, is it a festival, a vaccine passport and stuff like that to show that you've been vaccinated and things and stuff like that. However, I do think they could have handled it a lot better, but sort of like we wouldn't really, I don't know, we wouldn't know unless there was somebody else in obviously in our government in power. But I think it's been not a long drawn out process, but I think it's sort of, I don't know, I don't really know how to explain it.
It's been about a year and a half long process.
yeah, exactly, to get us sort of back where we need to be. And I've got friends who are touring musicians who live in Denmark and sort of live in sort of Denmark, like Germany and places like that. And I know that a lot of the Danish society is back to normal now and things like that. They're all gigging and stuff, and so it's sort of it's quite nice to slowly see that things might be getting back to normal. We've just got to see what happens with obviously the coronavirus and stuff like that. It's one of them.
So earlier you did mention you've got an EP coming out, hopefully in a couple months.
Yes,
what sort of,
hopefully.
like longer? Do you have any more plans for the rest of this year?
Yeah, we've got. I've got a couple of festivals that are booked. One of them, which has been announced, which is called Here for the Music Festival, which is on, I think it's the first or second weekend of September, which is going to be amazing. That's down in Biddeford, at the Palladium Club. The guy who basically I've been working with, who's been helping manage me over lockdown and basically keeping me sane, is a lad called James Wilcox. And he's created a promotions company called JMW Promotions. So if you want any bands want any promotion, go check him out. He's a good lad. And at the minute, as far as I'm aware, he's doing it all for free, which is amazing to support unsigned musicians, to really help them out. And he's put this festival on, and I hope it really goes well for him, because he deserves it. He's done such a good, such great work over the last sort of 10 months, supporting all of us lot and keeping us plugging away and playing and stuff like that. It's been really good. And hopefully, as of September, October time, it should be on tour. Either, a bit of it will be solo, but hopefully most of it's going to be full band, which will be really exciting. So there's a sort of the plans, and then obviously do that. Then probably January time, maybe earlier, jump into the studio and get the album recorded. And get some solid songs down. So album number 2.
I guess it's like, I mean, is there anything you can sort of drop hints about for these, or is it all just going to be a wait and see?
It's sort of, hopefully, basically what I'm hoping for, the only thing we're waiting for is there's one song on the EP that's sort of, it's a bit different to how I'd usually write songs, and I want it to have a really, really nice point. That to come, I want it to have a really nice lyrical idea that whoever listens to it can get it, if that makes sense. They'll be like, right, I know exactly what he's on about. It's not just sort of, I don't know, just writing for the sake of it. It is thought out process. So hopefully, shortly there should be some announcements coming soon and stuff like that, which would be really exciting. Hopefully in the next couple of days, so. I just wish I could sort of give more away. Other than it's going to be a 5-track EP, it's got a pretty cool name. The artwork's all ready to go. There's a new website that's ready to go and been sorted and all of that sort of stuff. So everything's nearly ready behind the scenes to be like, right, here you go, have some of that.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one. And then as a final question, if it was one dream you could achieve, with your music career, what would it be and why?
Well, right, the biggest one that I always had ever since being young, when I was in the Insiders Live, we got to play the basement at Rock City with a band called Elliot Minor, which was dead cool. And they sort of picked us to do it. And 2018, we got to open for Flogging Molly at Rock City, and that had always been a dream of mine. I've listened to them since being 13, 14 and stuff like that. And that was really it for me. That was my dream to sort of, that was my goal, to get a support slot or headline at Rock City. And then sort of the next one would be to do a full headline tour that sort of sold out and brought new people in that I'd never met before, because I the more we tour, obviously the bigger you get. And I'm really good friends with the Ferocious Dog lads. I've known them for years. And they are they're so down to earth, and they're so real and reachable. If my music ever goes anywhere, that's sort of a dream, to still be able to go and sit and have a pint in a pub with people and stuff like that, not neglect the people who make you who you are. So yeah, that would be a nice little thing to be able to still do, which is the social aspect of it, and meeting the people who, as I say, make you who you are. That's sort of, that's it at the minute, because I've obviously not done it for ages and not been able to, as I said, have that social aspect of the festival family and the friends like that, and obviously the people who inspire you, and you're listening to loads of different bands, so it's sort of more about like, I really, really want to get gigging and want to get out there. And then once we've got that, then the next thing can sort of happen, which is in the pipeline at the minute anyway. So it's sort of like go to sort of, it's like break out of the sort of the pubs and stuff like that and move more towards venues. That's like the aim, and obviously keep writing solid music that people are happy to listen to, and keep finding. I love finding new music, so like I'd love to support Jerry Cinnamon. That'd be really cool to get, like that's a pretty cool dream. Like the Water Boys, if you know who they are, I'd love to support them. They're one of my favorite bands like in the whole world. Like I think what they did was really, really cool. Like a massive band that have got such a huge sound, and I'd love to support them or go on tour with them. So we just have to, we'll sort of have to see, I guess. I don't really have any mega huge like dreams and goals and stuff like that. I've always tried to keep it sort of as realistic as possible, so that I'm like not reaching too high and trying to, I don't know, like I'm not organized as it is, so sort of like setting, so setting massive goals isn't good for me, because I'll be like, right, I'll move on to this instead of doing that, and then the bigger goal will sort of go by the waistline, and just the more I pursue the little things, the bigger those steps become, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's just, the dream is to get out to a festival and just be playing in front of loads of people who are actually, I don't even care if they were listening to me. It's the fact that they're having a good time, like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. It was great to have you on.
No, it's been brilliant. It's been, yeah, thank you very much, and like thank you to like yourself and Will and Ethan for giving me a shout and saying, do you want to come and do it? And if you want to have a chat with me after the EP's been released, and I'll be able to tell you loads more then about like the future plans and stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to give me a shout, I'm always up for chatting some more.